Hey everyone, coming back at you again with another video. Like I said last time, we are trying to revive this channel, bring some life back into it, keep you updated with the rig, the setup, stuff like that. Last time you saw the setup, it was pretty basic, just a couple of mods done. It's changed a lot since then. That's what we're going to be getting into today. We're going to go around the vehicle, do an updated walk around, and I'll show you everything that's changed and talk about some stuff that's coming. So let's get right into it. Here we go. Same base vehicle, 04 4Runner, SR5 V6 four-wheel drive. The vehicle itself hasn't changed since the last time you guys saw it. So let's go walk around, take a look at some details. Let's start off on the front end here. You can see we've got the same DeMello off-road steel single hoop front bumper that we had in the last video. This time it does have a winch in it. That winch has been in there for years now. I've used it several times. It is a Warn VR Evo 10S with the synthetic rope. Great winch, good setup for the vehicle. It's, a lot of torque behind it. It can pull it up and over anything I need it to. Talking closely about these lights here, we've got the Diode Dynamics SS3s and the fog light cutout here. Combo lens with the amber snap-on cover. Been a great setup. I use those as fog lights. And then over here in this turn signal cutout, we have Diode Dynamics SSC1s with the yellow fog lens. I had turn signals here previously, as you saw in the last video. They were KC Cyclones. I ended up relocating the turn signals up into the headlights here. Speaking of headlights, these are retrofits from TEQ Customs. Been very happy with these. I upgraded and did the 06 to 09 4Runner facelift on here. I think it looks a lot more modern, gives it a lot more aggressive look, and you get better performance out of the headlights. And I just think it really ties the whole front end all together, tied in with this TEQ Customs grill, TRD Pro style. Been very happy with that. I did have to modify it, cut it to fit with the bumper, since the DeMello bumper was meant for the 03 to 05 with the different grille design. Moving up here, we've got a sport hood. Shout out to my buddy Caleb, who had it sitting on a parts 4Runner that he offered to me, and I gladly took him up on that. It was originally black. I got it paint matched to the Galactic Gray on the rig with a black hood scoop insert. I just think it looks a lot cleaner. Brings a little bit of contrast to the front end, tying in with the grille and stuff like that. Hiding inside the hood scoop here, we have a rigid light bar bolted to a C4 fabrication hidden hood scoop light bar bracket, meant for the 4th gen 4Runners and 2nd gen Tacomas with the same hood scoop design. Just wanted a little bit extra light, a little bit of hidden lighting, just because I think it's cool. It's a little bit unique. You don't see it often. Moving over to the side here, snorkel from Dobinson's. Did it after I ran it through a puddle that decided it was more of a small pond. I will put footage of that in here if I can find it. Behind the snorkel, we have Diode Dynamics SS3s with flood lenses on Rego fabrication ditch light brackets. Those have been very helpful. I use these all the time when I'm wheeling at night. Helps see off to the side, obstacles and stuff like that. Moving down to the side here, we've got Relations race wheels RR7Hs with the billet aluminum protection ring. These are wrapped in 295/7017 Yokohama Geolander MTs. It's by far one of the best tires I have ever run on the vehicle. I'm on my 2nd set of these and I have 0 complaints. They do very well off-road and on-road. Going up behind the wheel and tire setup, still got the same Icon coilovers for now. That will be changing soon. Pardon the mud on these upper control arms. I did take it wheeling yesterday. Speaking of upper control arms, these are the Icon billet upper control arms. They've been very good for performance, comfort and stuff like that. Behind these Icon billet upper control arms, you can see arc splash guards. I do have those for more full coverage of the fenders and stuff like that. This is the Tri-X poly, so it is a hard plastic instead of the crappy rubber. You can see when I tap on it like that, that it is definitely a sturdy setup, and it allows mud and stuff like that to not get into the engine bay. For armor underneath, I have factory lower control arms with skid plates from OKX. They are based out of Canada. Really good guys to work with, do business with. These are very, very strong skid plates. They're made out of aluminum. I have used them to the fullest extent. I've used them every time I go off-road. They hold up very well. I do have the full skid package all the way back to the gas tank. I will show that in more detail as I can get closer to the back side of the vehicle. Moving down the side here, you can see those skid plates more. They do get used quite a bit. This one right here is the transfer case skid plate. It is so bent, I had to stack washers on it to keep the fitment where it should be because it was rattling against the exhaust. So it definitely gets used. You can see another small bend right there in the skid plate. Like I said, when we were looking at it up front, I will show you the rest of the skid plates here. Got the gas tank skid plate from OKX as well. It replaces the factory with a solid piece of aluminum, and it goes all the way back, almost all the way to the axle. While we're under here talking about skid plates, I'm going to move this way and show this. This is a low range off-road skid plate, motor guard, I guess, whatever you want to call it, for the e-locker that I have. I did retrofit the factory e-locker out of a 3rd gen 4Runner into my factory 4th gen axle. This accomplished what I needed with both off-road performance and on-road performance, because it did re-gear the diff to a 430 gear ratio as well, so it helps with torque and gas mileage, basically putting it back to the way factory drivability felt. On the side here, we have rock sliders from Schrockworks. Unfortunately, they did go out of business, but these have been very good sliders. I've used them a lot. They don't function very well as steps, but they are very good for armor and support, protecting the body panel, rocker panel, stuff like that off-road. Moving to the back here, you can see we've got Dobinson's IMS shocks. I do have a long travel kit in the rear with all of the supporting mods. These are offset lower links from Apache Off-Road. Up top, we do have the offset links from Apache Off-Road as well, just to help with travel and not contacting the axle under full droop. For rear springs, I am running the C59 677Vs. They are very heavy coils for what I have hanging over the rear end. I will probably end up swapping them out for the next step up here shortly. I am running a panhard correction kit from I'm Keith, just to help with angles and on-road manners and stuff like that. With the suspension as well, I do have the extended brake lines and extended bump stops from Duro Bumps for the rear, as well as Duro bump stops for the front, in addition to the rear, just to help with ride quality and bottoming out and stuff like that. Up here, up top, we are running a Sherpa roof rack. It's been a very good setup. You can see on the side here, I've got the awning brackets. This makes it a lot easier to put the awning on and take it off, whether I'm camping or not, depending what I need for my trips. Back here, we do have the Sherpa window panels with Rotopax mounts on both sides. Going up to the side rail here, we do have Baja Designs rock lights. The brackets they're mounted to are from a company I found on Etsy. I will tag him down in the comments down below. Back here for chase lights, I am running Diode Dynamics SSC2s with the combo beam and the yellow snap-on cover. These chase lights make it both easier for me to see behind me on trails, but it also helps with visibility on dusty or rainy roads or trails, whatever the situation may be. Moving down here, you can see these Alpha Rex taillights that I did an install on the last video. You guys saw that. If you didn't, I'll post it down in the comments, take you right to it, show you how to install those. On the rear here, we are running a CBI off-road bumper. Unfortunately, this company also is no longer making rear bumpers for 4th gens. I think they've pretty much cut the 4th gen out of their lineup entirely. They don't really make any products for them anymore, as far as I know. We are running the CBI dual can carrier. I've got the jerry cans loaded up just for the video, just to show you kind of how the whole setup works back here. Full-size spare with the Relations race wheels, RR7, and you can see down here, just to confirm size, it is the 295/7017. On this side back here, you can see again the Sherpa window panel. Up top here, I have some Harbor Freight knockoff quick fist mounts. I will plan on using these for carrying an axe when I'm camping, just so we can chop and cut wood for fires and stuff like that. Alrighty, let's move inside and we'll take a look at some of the interior setup here. Steering wheel from TEQ Customs as well. These guys have been very good to me and the build for years. I will continue to do business with them, and I recommend them to anybody who needs products for their 4Runner, Toyota in general. Talk to you guys about the rear locker. This is the switch for it right here. I will link where I got this from down below. I did research on the rear locker on both forums and YouTube. There are plenty of tutorials out there and write-ups on how to do that, but this switch is from Low Range Off-Road, as well as being the same place I got the rear locker motor guard from. It is a momentary switch, so you just hold it and it fires off the locker. This other switch here is the only separate switch I have for the lights on the front of the vehicle. It controls the Diodynamics SSC1s and the bumper turn signal cutouts. It's got 2 modes, the actual main beam and then the backlight on that pod as well. If we move over to the right side of the steering wheel here, you can see this phone mount that I got from Off-Roam. It uses a couple of sandwich plates and Allen screws to bolt the silver dashboard bezel between the sandwich plates and hold it on. The AC vent provides a very sturdy place for you to mount your phone. You can see here there is a plug on the bottom that allows you to charge your phone wirelessly while it is plugged in on the mount. Obviously, you can also plug the device straight in through the device itself, through the charge port, which is what I tend to do because I do have this Pioneer head unit in here. It's Bluetooth and CarPlay compatible. It allows me to have my maps pulled up and music controls and stuff like that. Anything you could expect out of a more modern setup. I did source a mint condition, but also used dashboard that I replaced my cracked old factory one with, thanks to a guy I found on Facebook Marketplace that just happened to have one. Down here we have a Midland MXT 275 micro mobile GMRS radio. I do have it mounted on the inside of the lower dash bezel trim panel. I just screwed the mount for the handheld part here into the dashboard just to give me a secure place to mount that. Moving up here, I do have the Miso Customs 2nd Gen Tacoma map lights that plug in and take the place of the factory ones. These are dual color, so there's a little button that you press and it changes from white to red. Building off of that, I do also have the Miso Customs dome lights that came from a 5th Gen 4Runner. Same thing, you press the button, it changes to red. It makes it a lot easier for visibility at night when you're camping. It also helped keep bugs out of the vehicle and away from the light. Up here where the sunglass holder was originally, I have a VoSwitch switch panel that I control all of my lights from, up front and out back. This controls the chase lights, obviously. The mount for this was from Nomadic Overland. I will tag him in the description down below. He makes some really great products. You guys should definitely check him out if you haven't. As far as the side lights on the roof rack goes, this is where the switch is for that. It's inside this dash storage cubby. I just wanted a hidden switch for lights like that aren't going to get used that often and that don't really take that much power and need its own separate fuse switch system like all of my other lights. As far as what I'm going to put in these other blanks here, I have not decided yet, but if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Up here I do have a very small patch collection. Bunch of cool companies, events, stuff like that to do business with. Also, especially check out Venture Unknown. These guys are great. They have a very good business model and stuff like that. It's a non-profit, really great group of people if you haven't ever heard of them. Moving inside the trunk here, I do have a custom built drawer system. My mom and I actually took time during the COVID quarantine to put this together. In here I keep my tools. I've got a socket set, an impact, some spare parts, inner tie rod, stuff like that. On this side, I keep my Morflate 4-way tire inflation system that I use when I wheel just to air back up with ease. And I have my Factor 55 recovery kit as well, snatch block, and all of that too. Interior storage wise, I have the storage cubby from Alpine Trail Co. And inside the cutout here, I also have the molly panel. This is where I keep some smaller items. I've got a first aid kit, some ratchet straps, and some other various items. There's a flashlight in there as well. Moving up from there, I do have Victory 4x4 interior molly storage panels. I'm not quite sure what exactly all I'm gonna keep on these panels, but I have them just to help with off-road overland storage and stuff like that. I ideally wanna keep recovery equipment and stuff on here so it's easy access to get to it and stuff like that, so that I can open up this drawer for my stove and propane and camping supplies. I do have it on both sides. It did come with the shelf that crosses over, but I've decided not to have that installed just because I don't really have a use for it, but it was a package deal, so I ended up just snagging it anyway. And I do have the option to put the shelf in if I decide to. Building off of that, the overland storage setup and overland camping setup in general, if we go here where the tail light cover should be, I have a power panel from B3 Customs. It plugs into your factory cigarette lighter down here, so this no longer has power to it. Instead, the power panel here plugs right into that, and then there's a fuse jumper for the underdash fuse panel, and it allows you to have a voltage meter, and there is 2 USB chargers. There's one USB, one USB-C, a cigarette lighter, and another cigarette lighter right over here. This allows me to charge devices, stuff like that. I could plug a fridge in there if I wanted to. I am waiting to figure out what fridge I want to get. If you guys do have any suggestions, post it down below, let me know. I am looking for suggestions on fridges and overland food storage and stuff like that. Let's talk about the future of the build here for a second. First off, tires. The 295s have been very good. It's been a great size. They've taken everything I've thrown at them. It's been a really great size for the build in general. I think it's a really good size, kind of middle ground for the 4th gens and like as a whole. I do plan on making the jump to 35 soon. The 295s just, they lack a little bit of the performance where I need it most, especially now that I have the locker and everything in the rear diff. I want to jump up to 35s. I just think it'll be better for what I'm using the build for the type of trails that I hit and stuff like that. The snorkel has been great. I really do like this Dobinson snorkel, but I want to go with a more permanent solution for this. I'm going to go stainless like they use on the Aussie style builds. I just think it's better suits the needs that I have with the vehicle and stuff like that. Up here, I do plan on getting rid of this OEM third brake light and going with the chase light housing with the integrated wolf box camera from Lumberjack Engineering. I haven't made the jump yet, but I have plans to do that very soon and get the chase lights off the roof, because when I do run the roof tent, these chase lights get in the way and I just want them down a little bit lower. I will be getting my interior reupholstered as well. The cloth seats are finally starting to show signs of age after 250,000 miles. There's a rip here, that one's ripped all the way through, and a lot of the seat foam is missing from this driver's seat as well. I do have replacement foam that I got from Toyota that I'll be installing at the same time as I do the reupholster. I just haven't decided how I want to go about doing that yet. I do have the limited center console as well that I pulled from a junkyard 4Runner, just so I can have the cutout for the OEM heated seat switches. All right, everyone. So I'm sure I'm missing some things about the build. It's minor details that everybody has pretty much done with their 4th gens already. I'm sure I'm also missing future build plans, but obviously I will keep you guys updated as things with the build change. I'll try and film more installs and stuff like that. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know. Please hit like and subscribe, post a comment letting me know what kind of content you want to see out of me and the rig in the future. And I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.